Hi everyone, it's Teresa. Welcome back to the Grim Art of Cooking. Today we're starting our holiday baking series and we're going to be baking sugar cookies, our first up on the list. So what you're going to need to get this done is you're going to need a pound of butter set out at room temperature. You're going to need a teaspoon of baking powder, and you're also going to need to dissolve that in 3 tablespoons of milk. You're going to need 5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 2 eggs, a pinch of salt. Obviously this isn't the pinch, but we'll be getting the pinch out in a little bit. 2 cups of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to get started with putting these sugar cookies together. So we'll see you back in a few. Alright, we're going to start putting our sugar cookies together now. So we've had our 1 pound of butter out at room temperature for the last couple hours actually. So we're going to start with that in there. Now if you have little kids, I highly recommend letting them do this by hand because it's tons of fun. And I know if you asked any one of my daughters, they would tell you what they remember most about making the sugar cookies on Christmas Eve was the fact that we mixed everything by hand. However, I'm going to use a mixer because if you don't have all those little hands to help you, it's kind of a bit of a pain, and it's just so much quicker to go ahead and put it together like this. So we're going to start with that. Our butter and our sugar are in there, and we'll start it on a low and just get that started mixing up. And then we'll just start adding in the ingredients. And remember, when you do the baking soda for this one, dissolve it first in the milk, the 3 tablespoons of milk. And like I said in the beginning, all of the ingredients and measurements and all the directions will be down below in links. Now, this recipe, the sugar cookies, is a recipe from my husband's mom. My little assistant who's videoing it is putting extra little things in the video for you now. This is his favorite. Every year, if you were to ask if you can only have one cookie made for the holiday season, what cookie is it? Guaranteed every year, these sugar cookies are the cookies that my husband is going to say, I have to have the sugar cookies. So, you need 1 cup, measuring cup. So we've got this worked in. The butter is all nice and we've got all that sugar going into there. So what we're going to be doing now, you gotta love this. I love my little assistant. I can think by the look on her face, she kind of really wants to get her hands in this and just dig in, because that's how you get the flour flying all over the place. So, once you've got this all mixed and blended together, then just slowly start adding your flour a cup at a time. Now, I'm looking for the top cover piece that goes on here. I'm just going to put it on long enough for me to get the flour in without sending flour flying all over myself. And then I'll probably take it off so that you guys can continue to see. But it'll be better because we've already got the milk spilled. Do we really need flour flying everywhere? Maybe. Alright, so just start adding the flour. Now I add it slowly, 1 cup at a time. That way it gets mixed in before you start adding the next one. Alright, so we've got this one blended in. We're going to add our next cup, and tell you what guys, so you're not sitting here listening to the noise that my blender, our mixer, is going to be making. We're just going to go ahead and we'll fast forward through the entire process. So we'll see you on the other side of the fast forwarding.
I should have been standing right there.
Oh,
he got some distance.
Okay, so we've got everything mixed and blended together. Now, what you're going to need to do with this cookie dough is best made up in advance because you need to refrigerate it. Now, what we've always did is when we were doing the majority of our cooking, usually about a week or so before the holiday, we would make our sugar cookie dough. Yes, and this is, I like the fact that with my mixer I can not have my hands be as messy as they used to be. By the way, some of our best flour wars have been in the making of these cookies. We will also probably have a flour war yet again this year. We always make sure to post photos of it though, because it's some of the best, for me, it's some of the best memories of my children when they were little. So what you're going to do is you will get this off of your stand. And what you need to do is you're going to scoop it all out of this container and you're going to put it into the best form of a ball that you possibly can. So we may be out of frame for a minute. Bear with me. So you do the very best that you can to get a ball formed. And then what you will do is you'll pat it down with some flour. Now, I'm not going to store it in this bowl, but just to show you guys, because you'll put it in the bowl, you'll pat it down before you put it in the bowl. Make sure to pat it down with some flour so it doesn't stick to anything, and then just throw it in the refrigerator. If you are doing it the same day, go ahead, throw it in your freezer for about an hour or so. But we'll make those suggestions and tips. Once again, they'll be contained in the link. Look, there's so much dough in here. And we always saved these for Christmas Eve. These are were always Santa's cookies because you can get the cookie cutters out. You can do the different shapes. You can frost them. You can decorate them. Anymore, now we just cut actual circular ones. So I do highly, like I said, recommend this one if you have small kids because it's very much a hands-on type of recipe and little kids love it. I've done this recipe with little kids that weren't even my own little kids as my kids got older, and they absolutely love it. It's just fun. So that's what you do. Now we're going to work on getting this put away and getting it refrigerated, and we'll see you back here when we're ready to bake these. Hi everyone, it's Christmas Eve and we put our sugar cookie dough together yesterday, so we are back to do the rollout so we can get the baking going. So what you want to do is you want, on whatever surface you're going to work on, put some flour down, break some dough off of the entire ball, We just cut a piece. You're going to need to work it because it's going to be really rock solid hard. So you need to warm it up a little bit. So we've got a small piece here, which then we're just going to start rolling it out. Now, when we go to roll it out, don't worry about how much flour may get into it. This dough, that's what I said in the beginning part of the video, it's perfect with kids because little kids want you to roll it out and they hurry up and do a whole bunch of different things and you gotta roll it out, so you're continuously adding flour. It doesn't harm this dough at all. So I usually try to press it down as much as I possibly can to begin with. Then we take our rolling pin and then we just start our rollout. If you don't want to take the time to roll these out, you can break small pieces off, form them into small balls, and then press them down with a fork. We need a little more flour because it wants to stick. So you roll it out till it's about a 1/4 inch thickness. You can go thinner than that. The thinner you go, the crispier your sugar cookies will get. We like ours just a little bit thicker. So all we're gonna do for these today is we're gonna take, we've got our glass bowls. It's got the perfect round top, and we are just going to cut the cookies that way. And of course they're gonna get stuck in the bowl every time. And then we get them put on our pan. You can get a dozen cookies on here. Give them a little, they don't need a lot of space. They will cook together as they go, but that's okay. We like the odd shapes. So even if you're not trying to cut out cookies, you can end up with snowmen. There you go. So we're just gonna finish getting these cut out and get them in the oven, get them baked, and then we'll see you when they're fresh and hot out of the oven. And who knows, maybe Santa will make an appearance, or maybe just Todd will be here so that he can get the very first nice warm sugar cookie. So we'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, so our first batch of cookies are out of the oven, and here they are. I've already destroyed one by sticking my thumb into it. However, we can't really do any cooking or setting it down properly because we are in full sugar cookie baking mode. The flour war has begun, and let me tell you, there's a lot of flour around this kitchen now. So that's it. This is the last part of our holiday baking series. Wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us on the Grim Art of Cooking. We look forward to seeing everybody in 2018, and we've already got a ton of video stock for 2018. So we'll see you all next year. Have a great holiday.